Hey guys, it's Amanda and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is a little bit different, and by a little bit different I mean that this was one of those rare occasions where I actually created the artwork for this video less than 12 hours before the video is actually going live. So that's not something that I do very often. If you guys have been following me for a long time, you guys know I like to plan ahead and be very organized and prepared at all times, but that was not the case with this video, and I'm kind of glad. So there's going to be a lot of explaining in this video, and hopefully I can explain the topic that I want to talk about well, and I can do it justice, because it's something that's kind of meaningful to me, and it's kind of important. So let me get into it. If you guys didn't know, I am from the state of New Mexico, which is in the United States. If you didn't know that, that's important. It is part of the continental United States. It's not part of Mexico, like many people think. And more specifically, I am from Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is the capital of New Mexico. And the reason that's important is because other people that are not from Santa Fe but are from New Mexico think people in Santa Fe are so weird for this, which I totally understand. But okay, so every year around the fall time, Santa Fe has its annual fiestas, which is basically just like a week of all these festivities in downtown Santa Fe. There's like a parade, well, there's several parades, and there's like food and vendors and artwork and all this stuff. And one of the main events of the Santa Fe fiestas is ZOZOBRA. Now, when I explain this to you, you're going to think it's so weird. But bear with me, because I'm going to try and elaborate as best I can. But ZOZOBRA is like this 70-foot tall puppet made of paper that we set up on the middle of a baseball field in Santa Fe. And like hundreds of or tens of thousands of people gather on this baseball field and light this puppet on fire, and it's supposed to burn away all of your gloom. Yeah, okay, so the puppet's name is ZOZOBRA, or he's often referred to as Old Man Gloom, and that is sort of the character that you are seeing me draw here. And also just a note, the symbol behind him in the background that I'm sort of drawing as the moon is the Zia symbol, which is on the New Mexico state flag. So that's just a little detail that I wanted to explain. But anyway, Old Man Gloom. So he's just sort of this symbol for like emotional baggage, I guess. So yeah, basically you burn him once a year and then you can kind of start over. So it's sort of like a really weird New Year's, New Beginnings kind of ritual, but we all sort of look like a cult from the outside looking in, but from the inside looking in, it's this tradition that is deeply rooted in this culture that I've grown up with my entire life, and I don't know, I can't help but have this appreciation for it. And actually, as you are watching this is the, I believe, 93rd annual ZOZOBRA burning, happening tonight, just September 1st, if you're watching this at the day the video is uploaded. And I feel really sentimental about that, because I don't know, if you guys didn't know, I recently moved to San Diego, California, and so I'm going to be away from ZOZOBRA this year, but I still wanted to sort of pay homage to Old Man Gloom and do some artwork for this, and I didn't realize that it was going to be today. Otherwise I would have planned a little bit better. I thought it was going to be next Friday, actually, but what do you know, I still managed to get it done and get the video up. So yeah, but just to kind of go into a little bit more about Santa Fe fiestas, there's sort of two sides to it that you can sort of interpret it, I guess. So on the one hand, and how I've interpreted it for most of my life, it's a celebration of food and more food, and oh my god, the best food of all time. I mean, seriously, like the food vendors in downtown Santa Fe during the summer and fall, that's the best time to visit Santa Fe / New Mexico in general, because the fall time's just really pretty because all of the leaves are changing and you can like take the trolley over the ski basin, and you can see them all changing. It looks really, really beautiful. That's when the balloon fiesta is, which is also really like world renowned. But Santa Fe in particular is really cool because there's a lot of historical, traditional events that go on during this time. One of which being the fiestas. And basically, the fiestas sort of celebrate Spanish conquest over the natives, and that's sort of the other way that you can interpret this whole festivity. And there is some controversy around that. Obviously, it wasn't quite the happy celebratory conquest that they portray it as. There was a lot of violence, and that's not something that I'm proud of. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually do have Spanish descent, and I recently found out that I also have a little bit of Native American descent, which is most likely modern day Mexican, not actual like association with any native tribes that I know of. I haven't really looked into that yet, but just anyway, I guess I just want to say, like, I see this from both sides, and if you view these sort of festivities as negative, I understand, but also I can't help but sort of feel this tie and connection to these traditions that have been going on my entire life since I've grown up. So I don't know. I'm sure everybody has something like this in their hometown, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about in this video was to ask you guys, what is something really cool or weird or interesting about where you grew up? I feel like I can talk about Santa Fe on and on and on forever, and if you guys like, I guess maybe I could do a whole video about that sometime, but I feel like you guys also probably grew up in some really awesome places, and, you know, or maybe not even so much where you grew up, but in your family, you know, did you have any sort of weird, quirky, cool traditions that, you know, you did every year and that sort of just, I don't know, make you feel really nostalgic? Because I can't help but feel nostalgic about these things. Like, I can't help but feel nostalgic about burning a giant puppet. And what's super weird is, like the puppet, they've sort of made him so, like, he moves his arms and he, like, moans and wails, like, as he's burning, and they have this fire dancer going on that, like, lights him on fire, and they have all these children dressed up as, like, little ghosts, and you call them glooms because they're, like, it's super weird. I get it. It's so bizarre, but cool in a way. And every year he has a different hair color, which is kind of neat. And every year this Fiesta Council goes around to all the schools, and they sing and dance, and they crown a Fiesta Queen, and, you know, little kids make little lollipop versions of ZOZOBRA. I don't know, that's just, like, such a part of my childhood, being that, you know, I've lived and grown up in New Mexico my whole entire life. This is just always something that was around, and it really wasn't until I moved that I realized how weird it is. Because it is very weird. But yeah, anyway, that's today's video. Hopefully you guys liked hearing a little bit more about me and where I grew up. Promise I'm not a member of, like, some weird cult or anything like that. But right now, like I said, the 93rd burning of ZOZOBRA is happening today, and I believe they live stream it, so I'm going to try and find the live stream and, like, link it so that you guys can check it out. I don't know if that's something you guys are going to be interested in, but I figured I would just, you know, link you to all the resources. I'm also going to link the New Mexico tourism website down below so that, you know, if New Mexico was not on your radar before, maybe it is now, and I think that it would be really cool. And if you guys do ever visit New Mexico, let me know. I can recommend lots of good restaurants, because if there's one thing New Mexico does have, it's good food. So yeah, I'm just kind of adding the finishing touches to the illustration now. I don't know if I mentioned this, I don't think I did, but I did this using watercolor, which I haven't done in a while, so that was kind of fun. And I used the Canson watercolor paper for this, and I actually really liked it. So yeah, and I'm also just kind of adding some finishing details with some gel pen, and overall I think that it looks really cool. I don't know, I'm happy with the way it turned out, and I feel like it represents ZOZOBRA as I remember it. So yeah, if you guys want to buy the original or buy prints of this, they will be for sale on my online store. And also there is still the 40% off sale going on until September 10th. So be sure you check that out, and I will see you guys next time. Later!